In 1846, Iowa became a state. We adopted a constitution that protected the rights of our citizens. And in that constitution, we placed an equal protection clause that safeguarded the rights of all citizens, even the minority. Our founding mothers and fathers also placed in that document a means for amending it, and that process was one of the most brilliant pieces of the entire document. It required 2 separate legislative sessions and a vote of the people before the Constitution could be amended. It means quite simply that one chamber of the legislature can block a constitutional amendment. That is part of the rules. That's part of the system. That is part of what was adopted in 1846. It means that the rights of the minority can and should be protected. The rights of same-sex couples to marry will be protected today because only one chamber of the legislature will be voting on this resolution this session and during the next 2 years. The Senate has already stated they will not support putting discrimination into our Constitution. History has shown that once discriminated against groups organize and bring their demands for equal rights before the public, that equal rights are eventually gained. This has happened in the past with respect to slavery, racial segregation, women's suffrage, equal opportunities for women, and interracial marriage. Somehow, society has adapted to the changes. Ladies and gentlemen, Iowa has adapted to the change. In 1948, 90% of American adults opposed interracial marriage. 90%. In 1967, down to 72%. There were only 72% of the citizens of the United States who opposed interracial marriage. Ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't until 1991, that the majority of Americans supported interracial marriage. It took 43 years after that Supreme Court decision in California. It takes time to change the hearts of people, even after the laws have changed. I was heartened today when I looked online and found out that President George Bush's daughter, Barbara, came out in support of same-sex marriage in New York. Mr. Quote, "I'm Barbara Bush and I'm a New Yorker for marriage equality. New York is about fairness and equality, and everyone should have the right to marry the person that they love." She's 29 years old. Pretty bold statement for a Republican, wouldn't you say? Americans from all walks of life are increasingly supportive of the basic right to marriage. Barbara Bush's support for gay rights is not unlike that of other Republicans. Republicans who are willing to support the rights of the minority. Notably, her mother, Laura Bush, and former Vice President Dick Cheney. Didn't think I'd ever be on the same side as Dick Cheney, but I'm telling you today I am. Former Republican presidential candidate John McCain's wife, Cindy, and their daughter, Megan, have also publicly supported same-sex marriage. I've often wondered why those who oppose same-sex marriage are so frantic about passing this amendment now. And then I figured it out. And I realized they're frantic because they're losing the debate. Young people, Republican and Democrat alike, overwhelmingly support same-sex marriage. With the young people of this country you have already lost. And every day that passes assures us that more and more people are supportive of same-sex couples marrying. It's only a matter of time before this debate will also become part of history. And many will wonder why there was such a fuss. I look forward to that day. Zach Walls is a former student of mine. I couldn't have been prouder last night to hear him stand here in front of this body, those of you who were here, and say how supportive he was of his mothers and their willingness, ability, their wonderful record of raising him. I want Zach, the Barbarossi family, Janelle Reddick and Robin Butler, and all other committed couples across this state who are in same-sex marriages to know I will support their right to marry today. I will support their right to marry in the future. Iowans have never written discrimination into their Constitution, and I believe they will not do so during this legislative session. The right to marry will remain. The women and men in this state need to know there are Iowans who support them, and we will be their voice today in this chamber. I will be voting no, and I ask the body